Hey everyone, it's Kris for Thomann Guitars and Basses. We're at the Gibson booth, NAMM Show 2020. This is Jim. Hey Jim, thanks for having us. So you don't do the year thing. There's no 2018 model, 2019 model.
Right.
So what is new for this year?
So for this year, we have the same core line that we had last year. As you said, we got rid of that wholesale change every year, right? So we're keeping our long lifestyle guitars, the product mix. This year we added a few exciting new products. We wanted to keep that same core line, but we added, starting with the Les Paul Special Tributes. We're very excited about these guitars. Geometrically, they're based off of the classic Les Paul Special. They have the mahogany slab body, and it's available in either two humbuckers or a 2P90 pickup configuration. The humbuckers are the classic Gibson 490R and 490T pickups, and the 2P90s are just our stock classic P90s. Alnico 5 magnets and Alnico 2 magnets in the 490Rs. We have CTS pots, vintage audio taper, Switchcraft toggle switch, Switchcraft jack. We also have our Butterbean style vintage Keystone tuners.
All-time favorite ones.
Yeah. And then a maple neck and rosewood fingerboard. So it's $9.99 US MAP price, so it's very affordable and just a rock solid Les Paul Special. And then lastly, we also added the compensated wraparound tailpiece. So you can get that intonation dialed in a lot more accurately, but still have the same response and tone of the wraparound. This here would be the 2P90, and as I said, same as our stock P90. In this case, the 2P90s are also hum canceling, so they're reverse wound, reverse polarity. In the center, it'll hum cancel. So here we have the 70s Explorer and V. They share the same basic feature where they're both in the classic white, and these are kind of a tribute to the Explorer and V that Gibson did in the late 70s. We had a lot of folks ask for this model to be brought back. It's just an iconic look, and one thing we did that was very interesting is a lot of those players that bought them back in the day would sometimes put in hot-rodded pickups. So we made our new 70s tribute humbucking pickups. So these are a hotter wind pickup. They have Alnico 5 magnets, and they're overwound where the neck pickup is about 16K, bridge pickup is 14K, but they're two different wires, so they're calibrated. So the bridge pickup is actually a higher output pickup, and they're especially voiced for that late 70s style of hard rock and metal. And they have a high output sound, a lot of aggression, but it's still a very tight and focused tone, so they don't get flabby and muddy sounding. So we're very proud of those pickups. The V will share the same features, but just in the V, the only thing different would be, obviously the tuners are the minis on the Explorer and then the standard Grovers on the V. But they both have rosewood fingerboards, white bound fingerboards, dot inlays. And that's it.
Neck profiles, I guess, sort of a late 60s kind of thinner neck?
Well, it's not a slim taper because during that era, they were doing, in the 70s, it was kind of a hybrid between like a 60s and a 50s neck. So it's a slimmer neck. It's kind of not as slim as our slim taper, but not as large as our 50s. So it's still a fast neck, and it's more appropriate to that era. During the 70s, depending on the era, they would have the pickups mounted into the pickguard. During this particular era, they were using mounting rings, right? And some players are very, very passionate about that because it kind of affects the way the pickup sits. Because of that angle, the pickups are more parallel to the strings. And Rudolph Schenker was one of them. And that's the feature that he really liked when we did his signature model with him a few years ago.
And also, it's a different feeling if you have your pinky on the edge of the cover.
That's exactly right. So it's not only sound and performance, but the feel too. If you're palm muting and you have your pinky down there. So yeah, it is a feature that we felt important. It's more difficult to make that way, but we felt that was the right thing to do for this model. We brought back a lot of these custom colors, as an option to order. Our core models are the historic colors like you see here. So we have our 63 SG Junior and 63 SG Special in the classic cherry. But all these custom colors we offered back in the day, and now we're offering them again. So
you can just order one. You prefer this color, you go for it,
they're special order like they were back in the day. The next wall, now we have the 64 SG standards, and they're available in the same way. So the historic colors, are the core models, and then we've added all those, Inverness green, aged Inverness, Pelham blue. All those colors are now, available to custom order as well. Yeah, that's the aged Inverness green.
It's incredible.
It really is. And the aged nickel hardware.
Yeah, especially with that together. It's very, very elegant.
So now we have the reverse Firebird, and it's available in all these custom colors. The sunburst finishes would be in the core model, so those would be our standard offering. Yeah, and then we're offering, all the other DuPont Duco style custom colors as well. So again, it's just like a page from our history book from back in the 60s. We're also doing the 65 non-reverse Firebird too. The sunburst finishes would be our core models, and then we have all the custom colors available for order as well. We have the Maestro Vibrola, and it's the Firebird 5 kind of configuration. And then it has the slide. So it's pretty true to form to that 65 era non-reverse Firebird. Back in the day, you could order a Pelham blue, and then over time they would kind of age, so they would get more muted and get kind of a little greenish at times.
Yeah, exactly.
So we do that aging to replicate that as if it was, from that era. We also have, the Vibrola and all the hardware in that aged nickel as well. And this one, is very special to me because my good friend Rick Heinrichsen is the artist who did all this relief carving and finish work on this guitar. He's just a fantastic person, very nice guy. He comes up with this art and you don't quite understand what he's seeing until it's done. So I saw this Hawaiian drawing and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool, but I didn't understand that's what it would end up to be. So yeah, I can't say enough good about Rick. And I'm really into the skateboarding and surfing scene. So for me to see that, again, it adds another level of, personal attachment for me.
See you guys later. Jim, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kris. Appreciate it.
Incredible. Thank you very much. You guys follow the hashtag ToNAMM20 and see you with other NAMM 2020 videos later. Cheers.